helium atom. It goes to helium atom because that isotope of hydrogen inside, it was pregnant with a neutron. And when it's pregnant with a neutron, boom, when that neutron splits up, you get another pair of electrons and protons. It's like an organic cellular process, but on an atomic level. You know what I'm saying? As above, so below, you know. So when it divides in two, it becomes four, like it's four atomic particles, 2 electrons and 2 protons, which is a helium atom. You know what I'm saying? Different names of atoms depends on how much quantity of neutrons or how much quantity of hydrogens the atom have. Anytime you have an electron-proton pair, that's a hydrogen atom. Whether that hydrogen atom is at its nucleus combined with other hydrogen nucleus, is still that one hydrogen atom, but it's just synergizing with all other hydrogen atoms by the nucleus to create a new atom. If it's synergized, because the nucleus is just like so below as above. How the nucleus of the atom interact is the same way how the chemistry of the electrons interact with each other to form molecules. If you want to form atoms, you got to work with the nucleus. You got to work with the internal on how well the proton chemically react with another proton. If you want to make a molecule, you got to know how it chemically, the 2 electrons will combine. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes atoms split apart. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you find that certain atoms is not atoms, but it's molecules really. They still finding them shits. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is that both electrons and protons originate from the neutrons. So of course, at certain points, both of them will have damn near, like, you can't really tell the difference whether that one atom is one atom or that one atom is a molecule. You know what I'm saying? They got H3O, H2O, you know what I'm saying? Those are not really atoms, those are molecules. But at certain points, they thought that they was atoms, different atoms, you know? They could be considered different oxygen atoms. If you want to look at oxygen as the next type of source, you know what I'm saying? So of course I can understand that. But when you look at it from a atom or from a new perspective, the oxygen atom is only 8 hydrogen atoms connected by its nucleus. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Another type of oxygen molecule can be, from the standpoint of a hydrogen, can be just interactions of the hydrogen electron cloud. You know what I'm saying? But it's only permitted. It can't, you know. It's only permitted because the electron shell, you know what I'm saying? Like it can only accept 1 electron, so you can only make 2 molecules, 1 molecule of hydrogen atom. All atoms is hydrogen atom. All atoms is the child of the neutron. That's why, like, regular chemistry cannot do alchemy, because they still separate in size. They think electron interaction is only for the electron interaction, and the proton is nuclear physics. Like, they just split that apart. So when you split that apart, you really don't have the insight on how you could change chemical process to a nuclear process. Like, back in the day, when you look at the Vedas, and you look at Krishna, which is a black guy, you know what I'm saying? Krishna means black, you know what I'm saying? Krishna from India, you know, from the Vedic science, you know, Vedic rhyme with KmetPh, you know what I'm saying? So you can see even in the small rhyme, they both rhyme, the culture is similar. They came from the Kushite Empire, which extended all the way from inside of Africa, all the way past Africa, past India, around the world, past Asia, you know what I'm saying? So we did spread the science all over the place. And I noticed that in the Vedic sciences, a lot of crackers going up in there. And the thing is, you know what's so funny about the Vedic sciences and shit? When they make the circle and shit, I made the 10-point circle, 10-point black circle. I started from 0 and I ended with 9. These crackers, they started from 0, and they ended with 9 on top of the 0. You know what I'm saying? Like it's above the 0. Like they clock is distorted. They clock of reality is distorted. That's what it is. And they trying to say, okay, yeah, 9 is similar to 0. Of course 9 is similar to 0 because 9 is right next to 0. You know what I'm saying? Just like 1 is similar to 0 because that's the new source that produced 2. So they both was like 2 different sources. One is mature and one is immature. You know what I'm saying? Immature not in a bad way, but it's not developed fully yet. You know? Same thing with 9. You know what I'm saying? When you look at 0 and 9, 0 been there before 9 because all other numbers before 9 had to come in existence before 9 could ever exist. So that means 9 is younger than 0. But you know, since it came from 0, it's going to have similar characteristics of 0 too. They all family, they all kin. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things about Mtaheamitcal mathematics. We look at mathematics from a sociological, not from a sociological form, but from a black melanated being form. You know what I'm saying? We look at it as a teacher of teaching math because, I mean, teaching love, human relationships too, because this math is interconnected on how we do in our everyday life. So it interchange. I'm not saying this math by itself going to teach you everything about the world. No, it can't, because this math is never isolated from the world. So it can't teach you everything about the world, so it can't claim that. You know what I'm saying? Since it's not isolated in the world, it needs the world. Therefore, it's lacking certain things too, naturally. Not lacking where you should be throwing this whole science out. It's lacking because this math is not nothing else but math. You know what I'm saying? Just like when you look at astronomy, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna need other sciences to relate astronomy to biology. Same thing, because biology and astronomy synergize indirectly with each other. You know what I'm saying? They use other sciences as a conductor to conduct both of them as one of a kind. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. And our sciences, since it's deeply in African culture, represents elements at its closest point. You know what I'm saying? The tightest synergy you could ever have. You know what I'm saying? Therefore, math going to have a lot of other qualities other than math in it, naturally. You know what I'm saying? Because it represents math, and all other sciences become one of a kind, become exactly the same thing. That's very, very important. Whereas the European had to make up intermediate sciences because it's almost like they build a bridge over a rift. We already had two rifts becoming one of a kind, so it's no rift at all. So it's no need for us to build bridges, because two land masses of ours is one of a kind. It's like this, you know what I'm saying? Whereas when you look at the European, you know what I'm saying, they shit's like this, so they gonna have to build a bridge to go from one place to the other. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of water around their moat, just like one of the castles they used to be rocking. You know what I'm saying? They like that isolation shit. So that's one of the things about my science I love, man. You know. Another thing I want to talk about is that what is the difference between space and time? Space is all the sequences and stages, you know, like when you go from stage A to stage B. Stage A and stage B exist at the same time. That's space. But when you go into sequence, for instance, if you go from A to B, and you know in order for you to go to B, A can't exist. You know what I'm saying? In that same space. That's time. You know what I'm saying? When the space changes, when the space ain't the same for the two processes, or it's the same, but they can't occupy the same space at the same time, in which one have to go in order for the other one to come in. That's time. Time and space, I define them Kempatali. They are synergy of sides. So that means in order for you to define one, you got to define both of them according to each other. You know what I'm saying? It's an interdefinition. The definition is inter. You know what I'm saying? exchange definition. It's not no one-way definition where, boom, we just point to the definition. Definition point to each other. You know what I'm saying? Certain words are definitions to other words. And that other word is a definition back to the word. You know what I'm saying? Just like input is not output. It's not output. It's something different. When you say it's not output, it has to be everything but output to be input. You know what I'm saying? But you still defining output, but you defining it as a negative thing, something taken away from being that. You know what I'm saying? Just like output is not input, it's non-input. So anything that's not input is output. You know, when we talk about information or toxic waste or biological processes or cosmic process, time is real. You know what I'm saying? In its relativeness, in its connection to space. You know, space represents blackness. That's the thing them scientists talk about, where it be where it be bending light and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That's space. Space ain't no spooky space. I ain't talking about spooky space. In order for you to have space, you have to have some sort of reality. You have to have some sort of being. Something has to exist. If it doesn't exist, there's no space. You know what I'm saying? Emptiness exists. You know what I'm saying? So emptiness does have space. Blackness exists. So blackness has space. But when all the processes are happening all at the same time, the time is minimal. You know what I'm saying? The time is shorter. The time is faster. You know what I'm saying? Because when you have shorter time, everything is faster. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the difference between dripping water and water is running. Dripping water has a longer time to fill up a certain amount of space in the sink. You know what I'm saying? So every time it drips, what happens is that certain processes have to be done before others. So one drip have to finish and drop off before another drip is formed, and to keep going in that process. But when you run in water, relatively to the dripping and running water, because running water could be like a drip compared to when you look at a stream or an ocean, you know what I'm saying? But we talking, I'm trying to give you the visual between space and time. When water runs, what happens is the sequence is shorter. You know what I'm saying? The sequence isn't elongated. It's wider. So that means longer sequences, certain parts of the sequence is happening at the same time. Like the drip could be like, okay, one drip is A, another drip is B, another drip is C, and it goes all the way back to whatever letter, you know what I'm saying, to Z, for instance. But when the water is running, A, B, C, all the way to Z are existing at the same time. That's why you see a lot of water coming out, you know what I'm saying, the density of the water coming out, because that represents all different segments of the processes that used to happen one after each other or happening all at the same time. And that's the thing about space. Space, when space widens, time is short. You know what I'm saying? Time is the sequence of things are in the same place. You know what I'm saying? One sequence don't have to wait for the other to finish. They all happen all at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Just like when you look